What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more Entitled Parents stories. Let's get right into them. Let my 9-year-old use your $15,000 lawnmower. So a little backstory. My father and I run a landscaping company with commercial grade lawnmowers that cost somewhere around 12 to 15k. And we mow a fairly large church in a sort of sleazy area of the city, which is also a Catholic school during the day. The kids that are in this school are some of the most misbehaving and out of control kids in all our commercial and residential properties. While mowing the church on a Friday, which is the day we are scheduled to mow on, I was mowing the backyard while my dad was trimming the front. All of a sudden, I turn around the building again and suddenly there are around 30 kids ranging from 1st to 8th grade running around outside while I'm mowing. The bagger is off on this lawn, which means if I hit a rock with the blades running, a small little rock becomes a projectile and can seriously hurt one of those kids. Obviously annoyed, I hop off the mower, turning the blades off first, and went to go talk to the principal, who we've spoken to about the issue many times, and she is the parent to one of the kids. The situation happened as followed. "Excuse me, Mom, can you please keep the kids inside while we are here mowing? Why do you lawn guys complain about everything? We are just asking you to please keep the kids inside so they don't get hurt on accident. Then just don't mow while we're outside. We've been mowing this lawn for a year and this is the day we're assigned to mow by the pastor. I don't care, he's not here, so I'm in charge." All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a kid no older than 9 years old climbing onto my tractor. I then sprint towards the kid. "Excuse me, can you please get off my tractor?" "No, I want to play on the big machine." "Please, get off the tractor. That doesn't belong to you and it's dangerous for a kid." Then I heard, "Do not talk to my baby like that." Turns out the kid was none other than the principal's son. "Please have your son get off my tractor. It isn't..." But the principal cuts me off. "Don't tell me how to raise my child." At this point, I'm getting red in the face to the point of steam coming out of my ears while trying to keep my composure. "This is a $14,000 machine and a 9-year-old shouldn't even be allowed near it," I said, pulling out the key so the kid couldn't try to do anything. "Mom, he turned off the big machine." "Give me that key now." "And why would I give you the key?" "Because I said so. You're a kid and I'm an adult, so listen to your elders now." Mind that I'm 21 years old. "Mom, I'm going to ask one more time for you to remove your son from my tractor. Give me that key now." At this point, my dad comes over, wondering why I haven't finished, and brought the mower over to him to switch off yet. Mind that my dad is not as polite as I am, and when it comes to money and his expensive equipment, he does not F around. I explain the situation, and what happens next is priceless. "Who the F do you think you are?" The principal is taken aback. "That tractor is worth $15,000 and you think it's okay to let a kid play on it?" At this point, the kid was so scared of my dad's yelling that he ran into the crowd of kids that had gathered around. "Get those kids inside until we're done so that no one gets hurt." What transpires next doesn't really matter, but it ended with 2 teachers calming the situation and the kids going inside. The next week, we go back to mow again, and the pastor came and talked to us, apologizing profusely. The way the whole situation went down was probably not the best language to use in front of young kids, and my dad apologized for that. But all of us agreed that those kids had probably heard worse at home. The principal, on the other hand, was put on leave because of the situation. Well, dang, that probably sounds like a good decision. "Let my kid ride your mower." "Yeah, sure, lady. Are you gonna help me clean up when he falls off and the blades turn him into hash afterwards?" Yeah, didn't think so." Moving on to our second story, my entitled mother freaks when my spouse leaves me and I can no longer pay her bills. For as long as I can remember, my mother, the entitled mum, has worked several jobs to pay her bills. As an adult, I got married and our combined income was pretty good, so we decided we would help take some financial stress off her. So we started paying her phone bill and her utilities and bringing bags of groceries by once a week or so. Then one day her car died and we decided to surprise her with a new one. We picked out a new, smaller silver Toyota, mid-range, not all the bells and whistles, but still a nice car. When we gave it to her, she seemed very appreciative and happy. We told her we'd pay the monthly payments, the registration and insurance, but the rest was up to her. She still worked full-time, but I had no idea where her money went. The plan was for her to take all those bills on again one day, but we just never set a time for it to happen. Fast forward 2 years later, and out of the blue, my wife cheated and took off, leaving me with a ton of debt, a house I couldn't afford on my own, and a broken heart. I called my mum and sobbed over the phone to her about how terrible I felt. She was sympathetic until I told her I wouldn't be able to pay her bills anymore. In fact, she became totally silent. Are you there? Did you just say I have to start paying my bills again? Like my car payment and insurance? Yes, I can't afford it anymore with just my salary, plus I'm going to lose my house. But I can't afford to start paying these bills. Mum, I had no idea this was going to happen. I literally have no control over this. I didn't even want this car. I hate silver. You got me silver knowing how much I prefer white vehicles. And now you're telling me I have no choice but to pay for an ugly silver car I didn't want? Plus all the other things like insurance. You are the one who gave me those bills. Why should I pay them? Oh my god, really? She got a free car and is now complaining. Oh my goodness. I'm speechless at her response, and then she shrieks. How could you do this to me? It's one sentence from her I'll never forget or forgive her for. My sadness turned to anger in a split second. How could I do this to you? My wife left me. I'm alone and feel like trash. I'm gonna lose my house and my credit is gonna be screwed. I barely make enough for my own bills and you're going on about you? I've been paying your bills for over 5 years. Did you never once think that one day they'd be your bills again? Did you ever plan to pay things yourself again, or were you just assuming I keep paying everything until you die? You are the trashiest mother on the planet. I'm here heartbroken, lost and depressed, and the only thing you can think about is yourself. I hung up on her and cried even more. Maybe 15 minutes later, my phone rings and it's my sister. Figuring she'd just gotten off the phone with our mother, I answer. Okay, you talk to mum. What do you want? She's very upset. So, what about me? Is it that nobody cares what I'm going through right now? My life is in shambles and I'm devastated. Well, you can't really blame mum. You bought her that car, she didn't ask for it. And she does only own white cars. She didn't have a car at all. If I hadn't gotten her that one, she'd have had to get a new one anyway. She's been driving it for over 2 years. Besides, she said at some point she'd be taking those bills back on. When was that going to happen? You may just have to work something out with her. Just pay a little to help her get back on her feet. You can't just totally stop helping her. Yes, I can. I ran the numbers. I literally do not have a penny to give her anymore, and you know what? Even if I did, I wouldn't. I've been doing this for her for years, and the way she acted today, she doesn't deserve it. If she needs money, from here on out, it's on you. This is the one time I need my family for support, and clearly I'm not going to get it. She tried to defend the way my mother reacted, but I just hung up on her too. I put my phone on silent and sat with my dogs in the dark, thinking about how I had nobody to lean on since my mother and sister were such entitled, selfish human beings. After that first call, my mother did not reach out to me again to see how I was doing. I learned the hard way who my real friends and family were during that time, and spoiler alert, it wasn't my mother. Holy cow, F them OP, you need to start living your life and just forget they even exist. And OP has actually added an edit. This was years ago. I fixed my credit, paid the debts, got remarried and kicked my mother to the curb. Best decision ever. Well, that is fantastic news. I'm glad you're back on your feet. And for our final story, EM tries to take food from our meal. Backstory. This happened literally yesterday. I have anxiety from being in public areas for long times, and interaction is a nightmare for me. So, my family and I went out for a meal as we do every week. Pretty normal for us. We arrived at the restaurant, and after waiting at the waiting stand, the waitress shows us to our table and she hands us the menus. Around 5 minutes later, she comes back and we order our drinks. Around about then, a lady and her 2 children, a boy and a girl, arrive at the restaurant and don't even wait to be seated. They simply walk in and find a table. The waitress at the time notices what happens, so finishes up with us and goes to talk to them and asks if they would like to order drinks. The lady ordering had a very loud voice and everyone in the restaurant could hear everything she was saying. Her kids seemed pretty shy and so just sat playing on their tablets. She finishes ordering and the waitress goes to get her drinks. The entitled mum receives the drinks and the waitress asks if she'd like to order food, but she says they're only there for drinks, so she pays. At that point, it seemed like the waitress at the time had finished her shift, so she went home. The new waitress begins working, and by then our food was about to arrive. The waitress walks out and walks up to us, about to hand us the plates of food. But then the entitled mum gets involved. Excuse me, that's our food? But my mum says, no, it isn't, we ordered it. Yes, it is our food. The waitress chimes in, no mom, this is their food. They ordered it, it is for table number 12, you are table number 10. I don't care, either give me the food or I'm going to your manager. By this point, the whole restaurant was staring in disbelief. Mom, I own this restaurant. Please stop pestering the customers or I'm going to ask you to leave. The EM goes into full rage mode, screaming at the waitress. Alright mom, I'm afraid you're going to have to leave the restaurant or we will have to call the police. But we haven't finished our drinks. Tough luck, you should treat people better next time. That's it, I'm leaving. Thank you, Mom. Have a good night. She left and the waitress gave us the meal for free because of the inconvenience. We actually saw her screaming at someone else after we left the restaurant too. Dude, what was going through her mind as that happened? Oh, I didn't order any food, but this food that I didn't order is now mine. Like, what the heck? I don't believe that thinking is this entitled mother's strong skill. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Also, click the video on screen right now for some more Entitled Parents.